We're going to sing the national anthem. Sit down for a moment. The next item on the order of proceedings is what is termed silent prayer and meditation. And I need to explain. The last part of the preamble to our Constitution reads, "May God protect our people. Nkosi sikelele i-Afrika. Morena boloka setjhaba sa hetso. God sien South Africa. God bless South Africa. Mudzimu futitetsa Afrika. Hosi katetisa Africa." So I really want us to be very deliberate in what we're doing. Adults can't just do things for the sake of doing them or because others have been doing it. It's not an attention-seeking exercise. I don't need any attention. All I'm saying is that country is in trouble. The continent of Africa is in trouble. For those who have to meditate on the challenges that confront South Africa and Africa. Meditate about the critical role that this House, the other House, and the executive at a provincial and national level have to play, and what solutions we need to unite our people, to heal this nation, to forge ahead and become that prosperous country that we have the possibilities of becoming. And for those who pray, likewise, let it be a focused prayer. Let's seize this opportunity collectively in this august house to pray meaningfully, rather than just stand up and before you know it, you sit down and you are just beginning to do that which you are called upon to do. So what you may choose to stand, you may choose to sit, whatever position you are comfortable with, you may choose to kneel. For 3 minutes, let's commit our nation and our people, our future, our shared future, to our thoughts, to our hearts, and those who have a God to pray to your God for speedy and decisive intervention. The 3 minutes begin now. Guide our leaders, Father, the political Lord, end the wars, end the tension, and disunity, Father God. The racialism, ethnicity, tribalism, or whatever else is dividing us, Lord, I pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Father, we pray for your urgent intervention, your decisive intervention in the affairs of this country. Divine for us spiritual, social, political, and economic. Take us out of junk status, Lord. We've been in junk status for too long. Many people are unemployed. Ford is threatening, my God, to retrain 7,000 people. Mining companies are retrenching people. Lord, intervene, we pray in the name of Jesus. We don't know what to do. We don't know what tomorrow is going to do. But you know, Lord, we pray for your intervention. Have mercy on us. Whatever sins we have committed, whatever wrongs we have done, help us, Lord God Almighty, uproot corruption from our midst. Uproot corruption from our midst. Uproot the corrupt from our leadership positions, my God, in the name of Jesus. Let there be national unity, Lord. Let there be reconciliation, Father. We pray in the name of Jesus. Let there be an economic revolution, Father. Revitalize the economy of South Africa in the name of Jesus. Visit our educational system. Let it be one of the best, my God, in the world. We pray, my Father, and my God, in the name of Jesus. Father, we pray for your intervention. Touch the hearts and the minds of the people of this country, Father God, going forward for the next 5 years. There be a sharp focus on development, Lord God Almighty, in the name of Jesus. Help us to bury our divisions and focus on what unites us for the greater good of this nation and prosperity. In the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Honorable members, I would like to announce that this sitting has been called for the swearing in of permanent delegates, I beg your pardon, to the National Council of Provinces, as well as the election of the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. In terms of Section 62 of the Constitution, before I beg your pardon. Before permanent delegates begin to perform their functions in the National Council of Provinces, they must swear or affirm faithfulness to the Republic and obedience to the Constitution. It's important to underscore that point. Obedience to the Constitution, nothing else, because it is the supreme law of the Republic, in accordance with Schedule 2 to the Constitution. A delegate is entitled to make and subscribe the oath or solemn affirmation in the official language of his or her choice, and it has been arranged that delegates will take the oath or make solemn affirmation per province. When the names of delegates are called out, will they please step forward in front of the table, where they will be asked to read out either the oath or affirmation in the language of their choice. The document out of which the oath or affirmation must be read out is at your desk. I've been reliably informed. When you step forward, please bring it with. For those who will be taking an oath, after reading it out, your pause, I would respectfully ask you to please raise up your right hand and say, "So help me God." And as for those who will be making an affirmation, likewise you raise your right hand, if you are able to, and say, "I do." The oath or solemn affirmation reads as follows in English: I swear solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect and uphold the Constitution and all other law of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability. Before I ask the returning officer to read out the names in the first group that has to be sworn in or affirmed, I have to make this point. One member who has to be sworn in or have an affirmation administered to was convicted and is on parole. I know that it has been a subject matter of debate elsewhere. I know that it's a matter that was debated or discussed in the province from which he comes. And it was a debate because of the provisions of Section 106(1)(e), to which I turn. While I'm paging through, the concern was that section forbids that anybody who has been sentenced to a term of imprisonment of 12 months without an option of a fine, and 5 years has not yet expired since the sentence was served, that member is disqualified from becoming a member of either the National Assembly, the provincial legislature, and by extension, the National Council of Provinces. But this is how the section reads. Section 106(1)(e). Every citizen who is qualified to vote for the National Assembly is eligible to be a member of a provincial legislature, except anyone who, after this section took effect, is convicted of an offense and sentenced to more than 12 months imprisonment without the option of a fine, either in the Republic or outside the Republic, if the conduct constituting the offense would have been an offense in the Republic, but no one may be regarded as having been sentenced until an appeal against the conviction or sentence has been determined, or until the time for an appeal has expired. A disqualification under this paragraph ends 5 years after the sentence has been completed. Now here is the point. The starting point says, anyone who, after this section took effect, on the information at my disposal, the particular delegate was convicted in 1989, and the Constitution took effect in 1996. So, this Section 106(1)(a) seems not to extend or to exclude that delegate. There must be good reason why our Constitution drafters decided to make this provision applicable only after the adoption of the Constitution. And it is for that reason that I will be administering the oath of affirmation to that member, because my own understanding of the Constitution is that after means after. The names of the delegates may now be called in this first group. Returning officer.
Mandla Isaac Rai, Zukiswa Veronica Ncita, Nokuzola Ndongeni, Zolani Mkiva, Mlindi Nana, Tembinkosi Apleni.
May we begin by reading. We say, I,
Mna ndingumlindi nana ndiyabhambathisa ngokunyanisekileyo okokuba ndiyakunyanisa uRepublic yaseMzantsi Afrika kwaye ndiyakuthobela ndiwuhlonele kwaye ndiwuxhase nayo yonke eminye imithetho kwaye ndithembisa ngokunyanisekileyo okokuba ndiyakwenza imisebenzi yam njengomthunywa osisigxina kwibhunga lesizwe lamaphondo kangangoko ndinako.
for those who took the oath, you say, so help me God, and those who were affirmed, you say, I do. Would you all please raise your right hand and do likewise?
Kwenza njalo.
Thank you. You may return to your seats. I may just indicate you'll find you will find two certificates of affirmation or oath on your desk. You'll sign them and leave them there to be collected later so that I can countersign. The next group, please, returning officer.
Say so Joel Mohai, Moji Lydia Mushodi, Itumeleng Ntsube, George Michalakis, Moletsane Simon Moletsane, Amand Benjamin Lute.
Let's begin. I,
solemnly swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and I will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of all other laws in the Republic. And for so much functions as permanent delegate of the National Council of Sovereign.
To the best of my ability.
would you all please raise your right hand. For the oath you say, so help me God. For the affirmation you say, I do.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seats, please. The next group of members.
Amos Masondo, Winnie Ngwenya, Mbulalo Richard Barra, Dennis Richard Ryder, Kenny Mutsamai.
May we begin, please. I,
Ryder, solemnly swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa, obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic, and I solemnly promise to perform my functions as permanent delegate to the National Council of Sovereign to the best of my ability.
just raise your right hand. Oh, had you finished, ma'am? Please finish.
Obekwe esikhundleni ngokuphelele emkhandlwini wezwelonke wezifunda sisayinwe eKapa ngosuku langwe-23 ngoMeyi 2019.
You all please raise your right hand and say, so help me God if you took an oath, I do if you took an affirmation.
So help me God.
Please return to your seats.
Lindiwe Christabola Bibi, Enoch Muzi Mteto, Yunus Ismail Karim, Timothy James Brauterseth, Simon Ezra Fayela, Slindile N. Luchuli.
Let us start, please. I
and I will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. I solemnly promise to perform my functions as permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability. Signing.
please raise your right hand, and for the oath you say, "So help me God," an affirmation I do.
So help me God.
You please return to your seats. And while we are there, please be careful where you sign. I picked up yesterday, some sign both. The space for them and the space that I'm supposed to sign. So please just identify where you're supposed to sign correctly. Go ahead, Returning Officer. Please read the next list.
Mama Khase Elek Nchabeleng, Mamora Liliet, Mama Regane, Shahid Habib, Sheikh Sitereke, Baldwin, Matibe, Christian, Frederick, Bayers, Smith, Brenda, Tirani, Matevula.
Let's begin to read out the oath of affirmation. I,
Christian Frederik Meyer-Smith, solemnly swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic, and I solemnly promise to perform my functions as permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
would you please raise your right hand for the affirmation I do, for the oath, so help me God. Thank you. Please return to your seats.
Dike Ladies Matlangu, Audrey Dimakatso Maleka, Archibald Jomo Nyambi, Martha Pindile Mola, Hildegard Sonia Boshoff, Sam Zandebnela.
I,
solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
please raise your right hand. So help me God, for an oath I do, for the affirmation.
I do. So help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seats.
Sylvia Elizabeth Lucas.
We need to proceed, please.
Sylvia Elizabeth Lucas. Anel Benedict Goya. Kenneth Musimana Khape Muimang, Willem Abrams, Stephenson Oakam, Delmain Chelsea Christians, Ngagiseng Bobby Goni.
Let us begin. I
solemnly swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
You all please raise your right hand. I do for the affirmation, and so help me God for the oath.
Would you move to say?
You may return to your seats. Please proceed.
Tamsanga Simon China Dodovu, Teburo Constance Mudise, Eric Rian Lansman, Karin Fesse, Siniani Beta Lihihi, Stephanas Franzoid Ditoit,
All right, you're watching the swearing in of members of the NCOP there.
I,
solemnly swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and I will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability. Signed in Cape Town on the 23rd of May, 2019.
would you all please raise your right hand for the oath? So help me God for the affirmation I do.
So help me God.
You may return to your seat.
Isaac Mbulelo Sileku, Kathleen Labuskachne, Johan Yako Lont, Edward Duisile Njandu, Morentia Natali Gillion, Andrew Arnold.
May we begin, please? I,
Johan Jacolon, solemnly swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and I will obey, respect and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
may we please raise our right hands. Those who took an oath, you say, so help me God. And those who took an affirmation, you say, I do.
So help me God.
Thank you. Please return to your seats. Are there any permanent delegates present who have not yet made the oath or affirmation, but who wish to do so? Can you just signify in case you're here? but have been inadvertently left out. Well, that then concludes the process of administering the oath or administration of office. We proceed to the election of the chairperson of this House. Now, I wish to inform you that the returning officer for the process of the election of office bearers of this House is the Acting Secretary to Parliament, Ms. P.N. Jawa. I also wish to announce that in terms of Rule 2 of the rules for the election of the chairperson and the deputy chairpersons, Advocate M.E. Pindela, Advocate B.N. Nonyani, Ms. V.H. Mnana, Ms. S. Boas, Ms. S. Ali, Mr. M. Skolo, Mr. M. Bebe, and Mr. L. Mkalewa have been appointed by the returning officer as assistant returning officers. I've already administered the oath and the affirmation to the returning officer and assistant returning officers as required by the rules. Before calling for nominations, I wish to remind delegates that in terms of the Constitution and the rules, each nomination must be submitted on the prescribed form and duly seconded. Furthermore, I wish to draw the attention of delegates, especially to Section 64 of the Constitution, in terms of which no person may be elected as chairperson of the National Council of Provinces unless he or she is a permanent delegate to the Council. I also wish to inform delegates that in terms of Item 4 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution, there may be no debate. This now is the opportunity available to members or delegates to nominate for the position of chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Any nomination? Yes, Honorable Karim.
It's with considerable pleasure, Chief Justice, that I nominate Mr. Amos Masondo for the position of NCOP Chairperson. I'm in fact from KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the nomination seconded? Honorable Mokoro.
Honorable Chief Justice, it is my greatest pleasure to second the nomination of Honorable Amos Masondo. I'm from the Northwest.
Honorable Masondo, we don't want to assume that you want this responsibility. Do you accept the nomination?
Chief Justice, I stand to accept nomination.
Thank you. Please present the nomination form to the returning officer. While it's being scrutinized, are there further nominations? Is there any other nomination for the same position? While we are waiting for a moment, I just want to confirm that the nomination is in order. Is there any other? Well, only one candidate has been nominated, namely Honorable Amos Masondo. As I indicated, the nomination is in order, and in terms of Item 5 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution, I accordingly declare the Honorable Amos Masondo duly elected Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces And on behalf of all present, I seize this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Amos Masondo on having been elected Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. And I invite you, Chairperson, to please come and occupy your rightful place.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we now move on by going to the next step? Which step is the election of the permanent deputy chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. And I wish to announce that the returning officer is the Acting Secretary to Parliament, Ms. P.N. Chawa. I also wish to announce that further, that in terms of Rule 2 of the rules for the election of the permanent deputy chairperson, Advocate M.E. Pindela, Advocate B.N. Nonyane, Ms. V. Mnana, Ms. S. Bowers, Ms. S. Ali, Mr. M. Skolo, Mr. M. Mbebe, and Mr. L. Ngalewa have been appointed by the returning officer as assistant returning officers. I wish to announce further that the oath of affirmation has already been administered to the returning officer and assistant returning officers as required by the rules. Before calling for nominations, I wish to remind delegates that in terms of the Constitution and the rules, each nomination must be submitted on the prescribed form and duly seconded. Furthermore, I wish to draw the attention of delegates, especially to Section 64 of the Constitution, in terms of which no person may be elected as permanent deputy chairperson of the council unless he or she is permanent delegate of the council. I also wish to inform delegates that in terms of item 4 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution, there may be no debate. There will now be an opportunity for nominations for the permanent deputy chairperson of the council. Now the opportunity is presenting itself to all members of the council to nominate.
Council of Provinces, I, Sifura Ntombela, nominate Honorable Sylvia Elizabeth Lucas as the Deputy Chairperson, of the NCOP. I thank you. From the Free State.
Ms. Sylvia Lucas has now been nominated. Is this nomination seconded?
Thank you, Chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable Masondo. I, Archibald Chomonyambi, from the very beautiful province of Mpumalanga, rise to second Honorable Sylvia Elizabeth Lucas.
Thank you very much. Can we now have the nomination form being presented to the returning officer? I guess that has been done. Are there any further nominations? That being the case, perhaps what you should do is to find out from Honorable Lucas whether she accepts the nomination.
Achtbare voorzitter, ik aanvaard die nominatie.
Yeah, she accepts the nomination. Yeah, I wish to indicate that the nomination form has been submitted, and I guess it meets all the requirements. This being the only nomination, this being the only nomination, I guess what we should do is to move on and declare. I hope I'm not skipping any process. That Ms. Lucas is duly elected. Thank you very much. We now come to the election of the Chief Whip of Council. Before calling for nomination, I wish to remind delegates that in terms of the Constitution and the rules, each nomination must be submitted on the prescribed form and duly seconded. There will now be an opportunity for nominations for the Chief Whip of the Council.
Thank you very much, Chairperson of the NCOP. My name is Zugiswa Ncitha from the Eastern Cape. I have a pleasure to nominate Seiso Joel Muhai. Thank you.
Joel Muhai has been nominated. Can we find out if there's a second?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP. I'm Siaparo Charles Sekwati, coming from Limpopo, and I duly second the nomination of Honorable Seiso Muhai as the Chief Whip. I thank you.
Yes. Can we find out if Mr. Honorable Mohai accept the nomination?
Chairperson, I do accept nomination.
In front of me, I have the nomination form, duly filled and signed. That being the case, I guess what we should do is to try and find out if there's any other nomination. No other nomination. I guess that takes us to the next step, which is to basically announce that Mr. Mohai, Honorable Mohai, is duly elected as the Chief Whip of the National Council of Provinces. Yes, thank you very much. We'll now move on to get brief comments by the provinces on the elections. We'll start with the Eastern Cape. Please proceed to the podium.
The Chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable Amos Masondo, Deputy Chairperson, Malibongwe, Kamala Makoskas, Chief Justice, Mutlotlehi Mogoeng, Chief Whip, Ntate Mohai. The Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature extends hearty congratulations to the permanent delegates to the NCOP that have just been sworn in at this first sitting of the NCOP today. Post the swearing in, we have witnessed the elections and appointments that were made. The Eastern Cape, therefore, wishes to assure the citizenry of South Africa that the NCOP is ready to hit the ground running in turning the tide against the stubborn challenges of inequality, poverty, and unemployment by ensuring an effective sixth term of the Council. Honorable Chair, we are confident that the newly sworn-in permanent delegates and the appointed presiding officers are fit for the purpose to discharge their duties of ensuring an activist and people-centered NCOP that will enact meaningful public participation, rigorous oversight, and progressive lawmaking. Always remember and represent the provinces that have deployed you. I thank you.
The Eastern Cape will be followed by the Free State, and then Gauteng.
The chairperson of NCOP, the deputy chairperson of the NCOP, Ali Bongwe, the chief whip, and Desaiso Mohai from the Free State. I'm sure all of us, chairperson, we have moved around all the provinces during elections, and we have heard what our people want. We have listened to them as they were telling us their needs. We have heard our people crying for better and faster service delivery. They have cried that they want jobs for their children. They are crying for houses. They are crying that we must give them sites. They are crying for water and electricity. Batho ba habo rona ba ntse ba lla. And we have heard them, and we were there with them. And le rona re ikutlwetse. So I just hope that members that have sworn in today, they were also there, and they are going to do exactly ba khotsofatse batho ba bo rona. As Free State, we want to congratulate you and say good luck. Go, lilo sebeletsa batho ba habo lona. Le lalang le tswele pele. Le ske la mamela eng kapa eng. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chief Justice Mogoeng, the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Honorable Amos Masondo, the Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable Sylvia Lucas, the Chief Whip, Honorable Saiso Mohai. On behalf of Gauteng Province, we congratulate firstly all members, the delegates to the NCOP who were sworn in today. We congratulate you. We congratulate all those who were sworn in today to take this important role in this House. We would like to congratulate the Chairperson, the Deputy Chairperson, and the Chief Whip. The NCOP is a very, very important House, particularly for provinces. We from different provinces put our hopes on you. And I want to say on behalf of the delegation from Gauteng Province, one of the first things we would like the NCOP to look at is that Gauteng Province, in terms of population, the size of our legislature is not optimal. We have put this matter before the 5th NCOP, and that matter was not concluded. We have the largest population in the country. The maximum size of our legislature is supposed to be 80. The 5th legislature did not complete this matter. And on behalf of the people of our province, we want to say it should be the first, amongst the first priorities of the 6th NCOP. Thank you very much.
Followed by Limpopo and then Mpumalanga.
Thank you, Chair. Chief Justice Mogoeng, the Chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable Masondo, the Deputy Chairperson, and the Chief Whip. On behalf of the delegation from KwaZulu-Natal, we wish to extend our congratulations to the Chairperson, the Deputy Chairperson, as well as the Chief Whip, as they have been elected in this sitting. We believe that this is a very important house, the NCOP. We believe that we should continue
to work together as provinces to raise issues that affect our respective provinces. Without dwelling on these issues, we'll also want to remind this House that it derived its existence from the will of the people as they expressed themselves on the 8th of May in the elections. While coming from different political parties, we should accept and work together and represent the South Africans genuinely and pursue their interest. We wish the NCOP leadership well. I thank you.
Thank you. Chief Justice Mogoeng.
If we can just have a bit of order, colleagues. We plead for order. Please proceed.
The Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, the Permanent Deputy Chairperson, the Chief Whip of the NCOP, and the permanent delegates who have just been confirmed this morning. I would like to as well, representing the Limpopo province, take this opportunity and express word of gratitude for our participation in this August House. We also come here understanding that the NCOP carries enormous task and responsibility to ensure that the aspirations and the interests of provinces are actually carried over, and to ensure that at all times the anxieties and those that are in the provinces are looking at those who are representing them in this NCOP to ensure that at all times the issues that are emanating from the provinces, the pressures that are emanating from the provinces should be represented by those that have been sent here. And would like to therefore take this opportunity to congratulate all those who have been confirmed, including the leadership of the NCOP. And with those words, we are saying that we are very much grateful and we are looking forward to working closely together with the NCOP. I thank you.
Chairperson of the NCOP, the Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP, Malibongwe, the Chief Whip of the NCOP, Chief Justice Mogoeng, honorable members of the NCOP, Lochan, Sanbonan. On behalf of the beautiful province of Mpumalanga, we would like to congratulate all the members who have been sworn in this morning in this August House, and equally we would like to urge all members of the National Council of Provinces to be driven by a relentless commitment to improve the quality of life of the people of South Africa. To the permanent delegates of Mpumalanga, Honorable Dikeledi Mahlangu, Honorable Jomo Nyampi, Honorable Audrey Maleka, Honorable Pindile Mula, Honorable Sem Zandamela, and Honorable Sonia Boshop. May I take this opportunity and remind you that we have traveled the length and the breadth of our beautiful province. Thank you. Thank you. May I continue then? May I take this opportunity and remind you that we have traveled the length and the breadth of our beautiful province during the electoral campaign season. You have heard the cries of our people. We urge you to execute your responsibilities without fear or favor. If you must be partisan, please be partisan to the interest of the people of Mpumalanga and the people of the Republic of South Africa. Our people have tasked you with the great responsibility to ensure that you adopt laws and move the country and its people towards the path of sustainable development. Therefore, do not make light of the task you have been assigned. On behalf of the people of Mpumalanga, I wish you everything of the best in the execution of your duties. I thank you.
If I may take this opportunity just for a moment, to request members in the gallery, at the gallery there, to please refrain from participating in the proceedings. This is standard practice in Parliament, and we wish to make this request and urge you to please cooperate. We'll now move on to Northern Cape, which will be followed by Northwest, the Western Cape, and then later on Salga.
Allow me to take this opportunity to pay due recognition to the Chief Justice, the Chairperson of the National Council of Province, the Deputy Chair, the Whipari, and also the table led by the Secretary and the Acting Secretary. Indeed, on behalf of the Northern Cape, let me also take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the delegation for expressing confidence in me to convey the congratulatory remarks on behalf of the Northern Cape. Indeed, as a province of the Northern Cape, we have confidence in the ability of this House to ensure that indeed the foundational values that this Constitution is based on, like ensuring that at all times when we take decisions, whether it is at the other arms of government and also the legislative sector, there is rationality in terms of the decisions that we take. There is legality in terms of the decisions that we take. We ensure that at all times the rule of law is respected, particularly given the sacrifices that was made by our forebears and those that led to the liberation of this country. Indeed, as the delegation of the Northern Cape, we are looking forward for this House to ensure that indeed we exercise oversight and accountability in terms of ensuring that this House is positioned to ensure that indeed the National Development Plan, which is aimed at ensuring that we eliminate poverty by 2030, is achieved. We are going to be robust as the delegation from the Northern Cape in terms of ensuring that the peculiar circumstances that is faced by our province is addressed. One of the issues that we have said in the past is the issue of the review of the formula of the equitable share, precisely by virtue of the fact that it disadvantages us, because it does not take into account the numbers that we have, the vastness that we have, and the fact that it is expensive to implement decision in our province by virtue of the distances that we need to travel. So therefore, indeed, as the Northern Cape delegation, we commit ourselves to put this item on the agenda of this legislative sector of this House, but also to rally our honorable members of this August House to ensure that we position our sector, our executive, to ensure that poverty, inequality, and unemployment is addressed. Allow me, on behalf of the Northern Cape delegation, to express our support and ensure that indeed the South in the next coming 5 years is going to eradicate poverty. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Northwest.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chief Justice Mogoeng, Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Honorable Amos Masondo, Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable Sylvia Lucas, Honorable Chief Whip, Honorable Seiso Mohai, honorable members, I bring with me from the Northwest Province a message of well wishes to all of you who have been elected in this sitting. Honorable Chairperson, let me take this moment to point out that we come from a predominantly rural province that has witnessed in its own share of public protests in the last 9 months as a result of a variety of community complaints. However, one strange phenomenon to emanate from these protests has been some sort of a paradigm shift of protests from urban and semi-urban rural areas to rural areas of the province. This is primarily due to the following issues which have been cross-cutting in almost all the memoranda relating to community protests that we attended to. The main issue that continue to plague our people are provision of adequate, clean drinking water, as well as improved rural road infrastructure, linking them to major urban centers, to name but a few. Honorable Chairperson, I'm highlighting these 2 examples that we in the Northwest are faced with in our quest to provide a better life to our people. Notwithstanding the fact that our province is still under Section 101 of the Constitution, this is in part overseen by an ad hoc committee of the NCOP. We are making steady progress in the recovery process to stabilize the public service in the Northwest, but I want to appeal that there is a dire need to place much more emphasis on the interventions in our ailing municipalities. This should be done not only in the Northwest, but should take up service delivery, Honorable Chairperson, in all struggling municipalities across the country, as these are the coalface of service delivery. With those few remarks, I would like to wish members of this House all the best as they undertake their legislative responsibilities on behalf of their respective provinces. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Good afternoon, everybody. Chief Justice Mogoeng, Chairperson Amos Masondo, Deputy Chairperson Sylvia Lucas, and Chief Whip Mohai. I first want to thank the voters of South Africa that came out in their millions and ensured that we have free and fair 6 democratic elections in South Africa. It's something that we must never take for granted, and something that when we serve in this House, we must uphold and respect. I want to start, thank you, Chief Justice and the judiciary. We had a very difficult 5th term of Parliament, and I think the judiciary did an excellent job in staying us on course in this country. I also want to say, Chairperson, you have enormous shoes to fill. We have the outgoing Chairperson, Thandi Modise. When she took up this seat, she became Chairperson of the NCOP. Not the Chairperson of the ANC and not representing one province. She was the Chairperson of the NCOP for South Africans. So I do hope that you can follow the example that she has set. Then, to my colleagues across the board, I think we must firstly thank our families that allows us to live out our passion, that allows us to be away from our homes for hours and hours, and they support us through all that. Serving in the NCOP, we will be traveling the length and breadth of this beautiful country, and they will still give up their precious time so that we can serve our provinces and the voters of South Africa. So never neglect the time you do have with your families. I also want to ask that we respect one another, that we get to know one another across the spectrum, because we can make a difference. This is a very powerful House of Parliament. And if we make sure that we take hands on the issues across party political lines, we can make a difference here. We are first and foremost South Africans, and my plea is that we put South Africa first when we serve in this House. I thank you.
We'll then proceed to have Salga.
Chief Justice, the Chair of the NCOP, the Deputy Chair of the NCOP, the Chief Whip of the NCOP, the premiers from our beautiful provinces of our country. We wish as South African local government to appreciate the opportunity given to us to congratulate you, the 6th Parliament, in taking forward the work performed by the 5th Parliament, which have created a formidable base in which you can use as a platform going forward. And we believe that if we use that platform, we'll achieve all the goals that we have set for ourselves as a country, that of eradicating of poverty, fighting the unemployment, and making sure that our people get services as they deserve them. And we wish, as South African Local Government Association, to applaud the people of South Africa for going out in large numbers and make sure that the elections in South Africa were free and fair, and that is why today we are establishing the 6th Parliament, and we congratulate all of you for serving our people, and we believe that you are entering this revolution of changing and change the life to be better. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now move on to political parties. We'll start with the EFF, followed by IFP, and then Freedom Front Plus.
Ke a leboga modulasetilo e re ke tse tšhono e ke tle ke simolole ka go leboga the ground forces that voted for the EFF, those who worked tirelessly with limited resources. We made it to Parliament with 44 seats in the NA and 9 seats in the NCOP. So EFF is represented in all 9 provinces of South Africa because we worked hard, because people believe in the EFF. We are going to continue with the struggle until we achieve the economic emancipation. We're going to continue with the struggle until we make sure that the land is expropriated without compensation for equal redistribution to people who belongs to it. The EFF continues to thank our families that have volunteered or allowed us to represent the emancipation of the poor, of the poorest. New Chairperson, I congratulate you. I hope you're not going to be biased. I hope you're going to be consistent in this House. It is indeed huge shoes that you are filling today. The Deputy Chairperson, Honorable Sylvia Lucas, we are from the very same province. I hope we will work properly together. But this is not a house for the ANC. It's indeed the house for the poor masses of this country. We represent them. We are all voted to be here. And we were voted for by the masses that we must represent. The Chief Whip, we've worked together previously, and we were working very well. I hope you will continue with your unbiasedness. I hope you will continue with your consistency in this House. I thank you so much.
The IFP.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Chairperson, our Chief Judge, the premiers of other provinces, especially my premier from KwaZulu-Natal, Honorable Zigalala. Chairperson, I just want to say to you, the day is still new. It's too early to say something that can be differ to other members. But I want to remind you, Chairperson, that and other members in this House, that we are all here on behalf of our provinces. Although I'm coming from the IFP, Honorable Premier, but I'm here on behalf of my provinces. So I'm going to put the needs of my provinces first before of my parties. I hope other members from my province will do the same, because we are not here presenting our party. We are here presenting our provinces. I thank you.
FF Plus. Please proceed.
Honourable Chairperson, thank you for giving us the opportunity to congratulate you and all the elected members. No, we did not steal our seat. It was given to us by our voters, so thank you to them. Thank you for helping us fight back. We are fighting back to bring hope to this country. We are fighting back to bring a new dispensation where we can bring hope to our voters. This is a house where we can eventually unite, sing all the languages of our anthem together.
Just order, members, please. Let's have a bit of order.
And we can unite as a country.
The member of the FF Plus has all the right to be heard. So I urge you to please ensure that you don't drown the speaker. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. To our members elected today, good luck, and to all the sworn-in members as well. We look forward to working together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will now take this opportunity and invite the Chief Whip of the NCOP to come forward.
Thank you very much, Chairperson and the Deputy Chairperson, Chief Justice Mogoeng, leadership of the provincial delegation, the premiers, speakers and the MECs, members of Parliament. I've seen also members who are in the National Assembly in the gallery, and former members of this House, distinguished special delegates, our traditional leaders, media houses present here, fellow colleagues and comrades. I'm indeed humbled to stand here before you today as Chief Whip of this House in the 6th Democratic Parliament. For this, allow me to express my gratitude to the party, the African National Congress, for the confidence expressed in my ability to serve the people of South Africa once again. I also take this opportunity to congratulate our presiding officers, Ndate Amos Masondo, the Chairperson, Mayor Sylvia Lucas, the Deputy Chairperson, for their election as stewards of this House, and indeed all of you in your election as members of this august House. Something should be appreciated for you to be here. Accordingly, this imposed an immense challenge on Parliament as an apex institution of democratic governance to redefine the democratic space, Key to this should be our collective efforts across political allegiances to inspire the confidence of our people in how we execute our constitutional mandate of overseeing the national executive. Honorable members, the renewal of the democratic mandate by our people should not be taken lightly. The trust that our people have entrusted us with should not be taken lightly. Parliament, as an important organ of the representative democracy, has to be strengthened to echo the voices of our people, to hold the executive accountable. As the President said, and I quote, that the people have spoken, whilst they did so with polarized allegiances to different political parties, they have, however, collectively voted for a one democratic parliament that is their collective voice in building of a better future for all. The task ahead is indeed difficult and challenging, but we'll only find glory in how we put the interest of our people above everything else. Honorable Chairperson, to conclude, allow me to wish all of you once more the best in your duties as members of the 6th Democratic Parliament. It will be indeed a great omission on my part, both as former Chief Whip and as the new Chief Whip of this House, for not acknowledging the sterling work of former members of this House during the 5th Democratic Parliament. Honorable Chairperson, allow me on behalf of all of you to wish them the best in their future endeavors. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now have the Deputy Chairperson addressing us.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, Chief Justice Mogoeng, the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Amos Masondo, Premiers, Speakers, and other special delegates present here, the Chief Whip of the National Council of Provinces, honorable members of the Northern Cape Province, of the NCOP, distinguished guests, also to my friends from Uppington who made it a special trip to come and support me. Let me start by congratulating all of you that have been sworn in this morning. All of us are under the impression of the important responsibility that have been placed on us. And it is indeed with great humility and a deep resolve to honor you, your trust, that I am assuming the position of Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces during the 6th Parliamentary Dispensation. It is indeed an honor for me to serve our constitutional democracy in this capacity. I have served our democracy in different capacities since 1995, and today I'm here at a national sphere, and I'm feeling deeply humbled. I would like to assure you that I will execute the obligations of my office in accordance with the provisions of our Constitution and to the very best of my ability. Honorable members, democracy requires that citizens should be continuously engaged in governance through interactions with those who are making decisions. It is not only about dropping a ballot in the ballot box, but it's also to understand that it's an important element of democracy. Only one step in the process of building a society that genuinely serves the interests of all its people. Those who are elected to make policy and laws on behalf of the people are required to fulfill the mandate through continuous consultation and dialogue with the citizens on whose behalf we are acting. Collectively, as we are all seated here today, we should strive to build an activist and people-centered parliament. We should ensure that legislatures are strengthened as part of building a developmental state. We should all recommit to ensure that constituency work should indeed be used more effectively to link the legislature to our people. It is therefore incumbent on the NCOP to foster and maintain a dynamic relationship with our provinces, especially the provincial legislatures, as they constitute the central feature of the work of this House. To this end, all permanent delegates need to serve as active agents for the ongoing promotion of a dynamic interaction with our provinces. The significance of this ongoing interactions cannot be overemphasized, as this facilitates a useful link between both the provincial and national and local sphere of government. Honorable members, allow me to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the former leadership of this NCOP, the Honorable Thandi Modise, for the sterling work she did over the past 5 years. Let me also express my gratitude to my predecessor, the Deputy Chairperson, Rasri Titau, and all other presiding officers of the 5th Parliament for their excellent work in managing this institution with such devotion. Lastly, let me quote Bruce Mau, a Canadian designer, that reminds us that, and I quote, "Every collaborator who enters our orbit brings with him or her a world more strange and complex than any we could ever hope to imagine. By listening to the details and the subtlety of their needs, their desires, or their ambitions, we fold their world into our own. Neither party will ever be the same." And I close quote. We are shaped by our conversations. We are influenced by the ideas we hear and the people we meet. I hope after 5 years, both you and myself would have been shaped by the robust conversations and engagement we would have had in these chambers. Let each one of us represent his or her province with dignity, with purpose, and with honor. Let Parliament continue to be a living embodiment of nation building. Wishing all of you the best for the future. I thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And can we at this point afford an opportunity to the chairperson just to make a few remarks? I'll start by acknowledgement, Honorable Chief Justice of South Africa, Mukweng, Premiers Makura, Mukoro, Ntombela, Mutsweni, Sihle Zigalala, and the representatives of all the 4 other provinces. New and returning delegates, former chairperson of the NCOP, and now the Speaker of Parliament, representatives of South African Local Government Association, and I wish to take an opportunity at this point to note that Salga has brought to the NCOP today a full complement of its delegation. And this is indeed something that must be emulated going forward. Those of our people who are in the gallery, as well as those who may be watching from home, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of the NCOP, we meet at a time when our country has just had its 2019 national general elections that were held on the 8th of May 2019. The composition of Parliament in the Republic, as we all know, is constituted of the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces. According to the Republic of South Africa Constitution, Section 42(4), quote, "The National Council of Provinces represents the provinces to ensure that provincial interests are taken into account in the national sphere of government. It does this mainly by participating in the national legislature process and by providing a national forum for public consideration of issues affecting the provinces, close quote. Today, it is in this context that we should remind ourselves that Parliament and legislatures perform three basic functions: a representative function, a legislative function, and an oversight function that seeks to ensure that our government is kept accountable. This especially speaks to government plans, government policies, and government programs. Please allow me to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Chief Justice Mogoeng for presiding over the swearing-in of the NCOP permanent delegates, as well as the facilitation of the election of the chairperson of the NCOP. We see this as a meaningful contribution in an effort to deepen our democracy and in the fulfillment of the provision of our Constitution, all the provisions of the Constitution. We thank you, Chief Justice, for demonstrating patriotism and commitment. We are grateful and proud of the judiciary. Let us remind ourselves of the words of President Nelson Mandela when he said, quote, "The NCOP is uniquely placed to reflect the diversity of our society and to synthesize the experience of those spheres of government charged with the great bulk of the task of implementing the country's national program of fundamental change," close quote. This is the quote from the address by President Mandela to the National Council of Provinces on the 7th of August, 1998. Members of the NCOP, in the context of the dedicated and committed collectives and a galaxy of leaders, we pledge to serve all our people. We'll do so irrespective of class, color, gender, religion, environmental, or any other form of discrimination. We seek first and foremost to serve. Let me also take this opportunity to reassure you that we will do all we can to master and deepen the art of doing. We will not merely dwell on matters theoretical, important though this might be. We will grapple with the most difficult, the art of doing. We will seek and strive to build this culture as we grapple with the critical issues in the context of cooperative governance. The NCOP will indeed be preoccupied with this important question going forward. I commit and undertake to do so, sparing neither strength or courage, to do so to the best of my abilities. I pledge to do so with integrity and being guided by the constitutional values of accountability, responsiveness, and openness. I thank you. We will now proceed and call upon religious leaders to come forward and bless the occasion. Present here today are various leaders from faith-based organizations, the Christians, the Muslims, the Jewish, the Hindu. So we'll call upon first Pastor Krishna, who will be followed by Rabbi David Weinberg and Mulana Shafiq Nolan, and the last person will be Pastor Salama Temas. Please come forward.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
My humble salutations and adorations to the lotus feet of the divinity in all the names and forms we adore in our life. My humble greetings to the Chief Justice of South Africa, the elected chairperson and the deputy chairperson of the NCOP, the chief whip of the parliament, and the members that they are elected this morning as part of the NCOP. May I greet you with the Hindu greetings, Prem Namaskar and Vanakkam. And before I'm going to say the prayer, I am humbled and thanks to the Chief Justice and the authorities for giving the opportunity for myself as the representative of the Hindu community, as well as the chairperson of the Western Cape Religious Leaders Forum, to come and be here in the parliament continuously 2 days. The religious community's contribution towards the freedom of this country is admirable, and always we should remember that. And we have lost some connection in the last couple of years, but that reconnection has been happened in the 6th Democratic Parliament. So for that, I am very grateful, and I'm here to join hands with all the parties, all the representatives, to make the sayings, service to humanity is service to God. So I'm here to join hands. Let us join in prayer. Arihi Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Gurume Deva Sarvakarye Sarvadaha Trayambakam Jamage Sukantim Pushtivartanam Urvarugami Bapantanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamridad Tatpurushaya Vitmahe Mahadevaya Divage Danno Rudra Prachotayahat Ulagalam Munarndo Darkariyavan Nilavulaviya Nirmalivaniyan Aragil Sodiyan Nambalattaduvan Malarsilambadi Vartivanangubam Arutperum Jodi Taniperum Karune Taniperum Karune Arutperum Jodi Tinadudaya Sivane Potri Yanatavarkum Iraiva Potri Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. By reciting the sacred verses from the Hindu scripture, may I invoke the richest blessings of Paramatma upon the 6th Democratic Parliament and all its members and members of the NCOP, to bless them with good health, knowledge and wisdom, and create a protective shield around wherever they move around in this province. May they be safe, may they be protected, may they serve the people of this country with the best of their ability. May the peace and blessings of Paramatma be upon all. As we also follow the teachings of the religion, says God first, world next, ourself our last. Om Shanti, peace be upon all of you.
Mr. Chairperson, Chief Justice, and all duly elected delegates here today, just to echo my colleagues' remarks at the importance and the esteem, the awe with which we stand here today, the feeling in this house of the responsibilities that each of you have undertaken. And I've just written a little prayer, which I feel even more deeply about, having experienced the seriousness and the responsibility, that sense of responsibility, which each one of you have undertaken here today. Almighty God, Ribono Shel Olam, sustainer of the universe, we ask you, in whose name this council has sworn today, to bless our President, Cyril Ramaphosa, the chairman of this House, and all delegates of the National Council of Provinces, as they begin their term of service for the welfare of the people of the Republic of South Africa. Bless them, O Lord, at this critical moment for our beloved country, with abundant success in the holy task, as legislators of law and justice, righteousness and peace. Inspire each and every representative on this council, so that their sacred mission be infused with a sense of duty, integrity, and honesty. Endow them with wisdom and courage to restore morality and to inspire confidence in our nation's office bearers. Allow them thus to earn the widespread acclaim and respect of the citizens of our blessed country, a country blessed with natural beauty, abundance of resources, heroic citizens with reservoirs of courage, joy, and faith, and a constitution protecting human rights for all. On this day of Lag BaOmer, which recalls the powerful soul light of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, we ask you, God, to allow a new light to shine forth from this house that will illuminate the farthest, poorest crevices of our society, giving them hope and sustenance. As a Jew, I am a member of the Levite tribe. My ancestors served in the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, where the priests would bless on a daily basis the people. And I would like to echo that blessing here as I conclude my remarks. A blessing that would be found in the Bible, Numbers 6, verse 25. And I say to you, as the Lord said to Moses, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and watch over you. Yoir Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May he illuminate his face towards you and be gracious to each one of you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May he turn towards you and grant you peace, and through you, all of South Africa. Amen.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Chief Justice, and all of the honorable delegates and representative present here. We bring you warm greetings of peace, blessings, and mercy from the Muslims of South Africa in this beautiful month of Ramadan, in these hours where Muslims right through the world are abstaining from food and drink and desires only for the sake of the Almighty. And all of those listening to me that will be saying Amin, or may the Almighty accept to this beautiful prayers. I've also written something just now, beautiful prayer, and this is the opening chapter of the Quran, the first chapter of the Quran, which is called Suratul Fatiha, or the surah, or the chapter, the opening chapter. I begin. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. We seek refuge in Satan the accursed. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All thanks and praise is due and owing to the Almighty Creator, Allah, the sustainer of the worlds. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most gracious, the most merciful. Maliki Yawmiddin, the owner of the day of judgment. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Indeed, you alone do we worship, and you alone do we ask for help. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. O Allah, guide us and keep us on the straight path. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, the path of those whom you have favored. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amin. Not the path of those who earned your wrath and anger, nor the path of those who went astray. اللهم امنح هذه الغرفة لاتخاذ القرارات الحكمية الحكيمة التي فيها الصلاح للكل. Oh Allah, we beseech you, the Almighty Creator, grant this chamber to make the most wise decisions in which there would be goodness and benefit for each and every citizen. Allahumma arsil barakataka ala hadha al-majlis. O the Almighty Creator, we beseech you, Allah, to send your blessings upon this council. Allahumma arshud ru'asa al-wuzara wa wuzara al-kiram nahwa taqdeem afdal khidmah li hadha al-balad al-jamil. O the Almighty Creator, Allah, guide the honorable premiers and the ministers towards delivering the best service to this beautiful country called South Africa. Allahumma a'tihim wahdat al-hadaf wa wahdat al-khidmah. O the Almighty, we ask you, O Allah, to guide them, keep them in your protection, and guide them towards a unified purpose and a unified service. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Thank you so much.
I greet you all in the wonderful name of Jesus Christ, Honorable Justice, Honorable Chairperson. This morning we have come to be seated here with many decisions that had to be made. And truly the shift has come over our nation, South Africa. And today we want to stand and give the Lord the greatest honor and the greatest praise. There was a young man in the Word of God by the name of Nehemiah, and Nehemiah was a cupbearer to the king. And Nehemiah was that man that took a stand when he saw that Jerusalem's gates have been broken down and the walls have been destroyed, the gates have been burnt. And then he began to go and he inspected because his heart was so sad. And this is the situation that we have faced, that this nation, the gates has been burnt and that the walls were all broken down. But there are Nehemiahs that God has called in this nation and has said those that have sworn an oath before not only man but also before God. You have a responsibility by the living God. It's not just man that called you. God has appointed you, and you have a responsibility not only from the earth but also towards heaven. He is the king, and you will have to answer with every decision. The Bible says it's not by might, and it's not by the powers of man, and it's not by the wisdom of man. Only God gives the wisdom. He is the one. There is no other one. His name is Jesus, and he is the King of Kings, and he is the Lord of Lords. And the word of God says, Nehemiah went down, and he said, and then I said to them, I see the distress that we are in. Jerusalem lies in waste. South Africa needs to be rebuilt again. And God has called this time. For this time, then not only have we transitioned, but we're stepping into a new era and a new thing. And he says, come and let us build. You will no longer be a reproach. Let us arise. How many years since we are rising? We are rising from the ashes, and we are going to put our hands to the plow, and we're not looking back. Amen. Father, today we want to say thank you. Thank you that you have handpicked men and women, men that you have sworn to come to fall. So today, Father, I thank you that they will build according to the courts of heaven. Yes, our people needs direction, and if there is no knowledge, our people perishes. So today, in the name of Jesus, I thank you as the King of Kings, and you are the Lord of Lords over South Africa, and there is no one. You will do a new thing, and I thank you, Lord, that those you have called, they are called by your name. So you will cause them, give them the wisdom, give them the strategy. Oh, Father, let your glory reign over them. I thank you that you permeate their hearts to know that they should fall on their knees and call unto you for that that wisdom. It doesn't come from the counsel of men, but it comes from the King of Kings, and his name is Jesus. Amen and amen.
Thank you very much for all the prayers and the words of inspiration. One announcement. I'm told there's going to be a group photo that will be taken after the sitting at the steps of the NCOP. About here. The steps, I'm sure, would be on your left. So we are requested to assemble there to have a group photo. And please proceed there as soon as we adjourn the sitting. I now declare at this point that this sitting is adjourned. Thank you very much.